Hey Dragonfly Swarm, so with the 2.3 livestream event, miHoYo finally unveiled the character plan for the patch, one of which character reruns being Eula, a Cryo Claymore user who specializes in dealing physical damage. Eula's first banner was released in the second half of the 1.5 update, and I was actually there for that, so I did of course pull for her. I mean, she's Eula. But that means I've had a lot of time to play her and gauge not only her strength at the time, but also her strength coming back to her in 2.3, and over the past couple of months, she's remained one of the strongest DPS units in the game. Eula is a character that was designed to deal massive physical damage through the use of talents and scaling that boost physical damage, as well as passives that shred physical resistance on enemies. So the first concern that many players might have that I can immediately alleviate is Eula's viability against physically resistant mobs. Despite physical damage being rather niche and usually unimpressive in meta in-game content such as Spiral Abyss and events such as Labyrinth Warriors, Eula's kit makes her an absolute exception because she can shred resistance on her own and utilize superconduct to further shred resistance. And as I said, this is all on top of her massive physical damage bonuses. You can actually end up building around 150% physical damage bonus on Eula if you give her a physical damage cup, as well as either her signature Song of Broken Pines weapon or the completely free-to-play craftable claymore Snowtomb Star Silver. Given that the vast majority of Eula's damage output comes from her burst, which is physical damage, Snowtomb Star Silver is a perfect 4-star claymore to boost this damage, and it's kinda cool because the passive on this weapon isn't necessarily worth refining, so you only really need R1 of this weapon, saving your valuable and rare claymore thingies. I don't know how to pronounce it. And also, on the subject of Eula being pretty easy to build, let's discuss artifacts. While 4-piece Pale Flame is her best set, given it was designed for her and boasts up to a massive 50% physical damage increase, you can also get away with using 2-piece Pale Flame and 2-piece Bloodstained, which just straight up gives you the 50% physical damage bonus. The only downside is that you lose out on the extra 18% attack from the 4-piece Pale Flame, but with the addition of Raiden Shogun to the game, this actually doesn't have to be such a big loss at all. The cool thing about Eula and Raiden's synergy together is that it allows Eula to be used as a quick swap burst DPS in which she's only on field and attacking enemies when she's stacking her burst combo. So while the 18% attack is useful, it's not entirely necessary if you just want to build her artifacts as efficiently as possible. Essentially, this is all just to say that Raiden's addition to the game has made it a bit easier to build Eula without concerning yourself so much about the loss in damage output if you decide not to run the full 4-piece Pale Flame. And since we're talking about it, let's discuss just how crazy Eula and Raiden's synergy actually is. Eula's massive damage potential comes primarily from her burst, which can reach ungodly numbers, and with Raiden Shogun's playstyle in which she uses her burst and stays on field to recharge her team's burst, you'll be able to recharge Eula's hefty 80 energy cost in no time. This creates a new playstyle with Eula in which you focus mostly on physical damage bonuses and keep her on field only when you're using her burst and building up its combo for massive damage. Then you swap off to Raiden, use her burst, recharge Eula's burst, and bam, you rinse and repeat. And not to mention, Raiden as well as several other Electro sub DPS characters such as Beto and Fischl provide amazing off-field electro damage, which allows Eula to constantly proc superconduct and shred enemy physical resistance. And I don't think I need to explain why that's so... 264,000 with the chicken strips. Cracked. Eula does have some noticeable weaknesses though, most of which pertaining to her burst. She's really vulnerable to interruption when using her burst because you want to land as many consecutive attacks on enemies as possible to charge her burst damage. And if she's being interrupted and stunned, you're losing out on a lot of damage in her final burst explosion. But this weakness is actually pretty easily countered just by making sure to constantly run her with a shielder. It can also be a little difficult to land her burst on an enemy given that it doesn't actually explode for 7 seconds after your initial use. And in that 7-second period, an enemy can, I don't know, fly up to Celestia or something, causing you to miss out on an entire rotation's worth of damage. This doesn't happen that often, but it does happen, and it is frustrating, so make sure you have a general idea of an enemy or boss's attack pattern before you bring Eula to fight it. Overall though, I'd say it's a great time to pull for Eula, and given that she's such a niche character, kinda like Xiao and how Ito will probably be, there will never be a bad time to pull for her. Not many changes in the game affect her and her playstyle, and that's kinda been proven since her original banner, cause honestly not much about her playstyle has changed at all, besides the big changes if you run her with Raiden Shogun, but that's if you have Raiden Shogun and choose to run them together. I think Eula is a character that a lot of people will enjoy, not just because she's insanely powerful when played correctly, but also because her playstyle, in my opinion, is one of the most unique and refreshing ones in Genshin Impact. And she feels sorta like a timeless character that won't be power crept or weakened by the game changes for a very long time, if ever. Anyways, if you like this video or it helps you in any way, please feel free to subscribe because it really helps my channel and I would be super appreciative. And also, you can join my Discord server or follow me on Twitch because I stream almost every night. As much as I can. Alright, I'm gonna go dust off my Eula and get her ready for the fun winter festivities coming to 2.3 Dragonspine. Goodbye!